from here.
Let's bring it in, let's bring it in. We're gonna look at the same thing again. Just touch down on a couple details and then we'll practice one more time. Chris, Adrian, bring it in.
You see your shoulders? Your shoulders on my cheek.
High.
Yeah, it's very, that's where you can choke.
Nice.
The big difference.
That's a big difference.
No, that's good. That was good. Any questions? Anything that just wasn't making sense? Or
What's happening? So I've got one hand that's grabbing the collar. What's the other hand doing?
right. Okay. So that's a good question. You're cross facing with the left. What do you do with the right? Okay. One of the things about dominant position in general is there's this asymmetry in terms of limbs. Like I have leftover pieces because of where I started in side control. I don't need to have both of my arms fully engaged, both my legs fully engaged if my partner's not resisting. Okay? So there are a lot of things that, let's say I get this crossface. There are a lot of different places this arm could be and it would be correct. That's the nature of me being in a dominant position, is I can dictate what's happening with less effort on my side, with moving less pieces. The opposite of that is M has to do like 3 or 4 things to start escaping. And for almost all of them, I can counter with about 1 movement. Okay, so there's this big difference in terms of our ability to produce force and our mechanical strength right now. In general, what this hand will do is allow you to put more pressure with the crossface. So first I pick her up, I grab, I push off of the floor to help bring her in. Now, as I start to turn, okay, a couple things can happen. She's either going to try and push me away with her arms, in which case I use this hand to bring her legs further into the crossface. So her knees and her eyes are really opposing each other now. Or the opposite, she's going to try and run away from the crossface by turning everything to the other side. Okay? And in that case, this arm just pulls her arm, and she's not going anywhere. Okay? So the crossface is the biggest mechanical advantage you can create against your partner with one arm. Okay, the seatbelt is an example of using both arms. Okay, but learning the crossface is absolutely critical because it's what defines 90% of dominant position. If you can't crossface somebody, person on bottom will just sit there, and eventually they're going to get out, or something awful is going to happen to the person on top. Okay, so getting this crossface down is super, super important because without it, you can't create the openings that you want for guard passes, for submissions, things like that. Okay. Other questions on the crossface? We're definitely going to do it again.
Is it kind of like setting up an arm triangle?
It's exactly the same. This crossface sets up the arm triangle by way of my partner pushing on me to try and escape. So let's say I get here, and M's like, well, I don't want to tap to this, and I definitely don't want to go to sleep from this. So she starts pushing on me with her arm. I crowd her, and I can go to the arm triangle. Again, it's that choking pressure that puts the ball in M's court. She's got to do something about it. Okay? Or she's going to have to tap, or she's going to go to sleep. But if my crossface is even a little bit off, she doesn't have that dilemma. She's not like, oh, I'm about to pass out. I got to push on someone, or I got to run left. So we have to get to the point where that crossface reliably creates choking pressure, and then you'll find arm triangle, half guard passes, stuff like that. Other questions? Okay, so we're gonna, same thing again. We're gonna feed the lapel this time to even further exaggerate the pressure of the crossface, so you can really tune into that sensation of choking your partner with it. Travis, can you look? So we'll set it up exactly the same. Got the collar. I'm going underneath, picking my partner up. I grab the crossface, bring him in, and I'm going to put my hip down and pressure him. Now I'm going to take out his collar. I'm doing my second repetition, and I'm going to pull out all the slack and give it to this hand. Okay, this hand goes under his shoulder like this, no shallower. Okay. I give it to my hand. And from here, I pull my elbow along the floor, and now, same thing, I turn and pressure with my shoulder. Okay? Yeah, this is why it's the mega ultra crossface. Right? It's just the crossface, way worse.
So now is your left shoulder pushing into his neck artery now instead of just the chin?
Like you want the Pez, you want to lift the chin of the Pez dispenser. Is that what that thing is? And then that spot underneath opens up and you put pressure on it. Okay. Your partner will almost always go like this, so I'll say, get their chin up, because they won't default to lifting their chin. But once it's up, you're right on their carotid, putting pressure with your shoulder, and that's what makes them either tap, push on you, or go to sleep.
But when we were still grabbing the collar, then there was nothing on their neck yet. It was just their chin.
Yeah, because you don't have their armpit yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that paw grip is what lets you put the pressure on their neck. When you have the collar, you can't put that choking pressure on them. You just turn their chin a little bit. We'll definitely go into that more. As when are you choking your partner with your shoulder versus when are you just holding the collar grip? For now, we'll feed the lapel so you can really run in the direction of the choking pressure from the crossface. Okay? And I'll come around and do this one on everyone so everyone can feel it. Okay? Let's do about 2 or 3 of these on your partner, and then they do it back to you. Okay? Crossface from the side control, and then feeding the lapel for the crossface. Let's give it a go. If you want more videos, please click below to subscribe. If you want to dive in deeper, you can click here to get a free video seminar I did of one of my favorite sequences from standing to submission. And if you have any questions or anything you want to see, please leave it in the comments below.